Are you a freelancer in Nigeria, and have you updated your tax information on Upwork? If you have not yet done so, you really need to watch this video. And if you are confused as to how to go about this, in this video, I'm going to take you through the entire process. A few weeks ago, we got this email from Upwork asking all non-US freelancers to fill a new W-8BEN or W-8BEN E form. So the W-8BEN form is for individuals, while the W-8BEN form is for businesses. And so your tax identification number or your current tax residence is required. You're required to put in that information. And failure to do that by the 31st of December 2022, Upwork will start withholding US income tax from your earnings, even though you are not a US resident or you do not reside in the US. So if you do not want Upwork to be deducting 30% of your earnings as tax, all right, from your earnings on Upwork, it's very important that you fill or update your tax information, and you have a tax information page on Upwork. So after we got this email, there was a lot of confusion as to how to go about this. A lot of freelancers started reaching out to each other. And on LinkedIn, I shared this information because I personally reached out to Upwork. And when Upwork got back to me, I shared the information with everybody. And the I'm happy that the post actually went out well and a lot of people got the information that they needed, but there were also questions rolling in as to, if I do not have a TIN, what should I do? Your TIN is your tax identification number. And Upwork was gracious enough to explain what you could do if you do not have your TIN. You can actually use your NIN, all right, that is your national identification number, all right. So, but there were still additional questions that were coming in. I noticed and observed that some other people did not have either a TIN or an NIN. And so they were asking questions about what they could actually do. Upwork also was gracious enough to provide additional information as to what to do about that. So this video is actually going to show you how to update your tax information. If you do not have your TIN, what you can do, and if you have neither your TIN or your NIN, what you can also do, because the countdown has already started. My name is Tokwe, and I am one of the co-founders of Audible Talents. And this video is actually coming or is powered by Audible Talents. So if this video is beneficial to you, I want you to subscribe to our channel and also hit the notification bell, because we are going to be making more videos like this that is going to help the freelance community in Nigeria. So what Audible Talent does is we mentor African freelancers. We show you how to do things, how to get signed up on Upwork, how to monetize your skills online, and then we also connect you with employers, global employers. All right, so when this information was shared, I got some personal messages from individuals asking how they were going to go about this. So, but you know, the life of a freelancer, we really don't have all the time in the world to start answering individuals. If I say that I should start doing that, it will, it's just going to take forever. So, what I decided to do was, hey, let's do this video and let's see how we can handle all of that. So we're going to be answering some of these questions have already been answered. What is the W-8BEN form? So these are forms required by the IRS, and they are used to determine whether you live in the US and then what taxes, if any, are you supposed to be paying on Upwork. So if you're an individual, you are required to fill this form, the W-8BEN, and if you are a business, you are required to fill the W-8BEN E form. For example, if you are an agency on Upwork, if you have an agency on Upwork, you are required to fill that form. All right, let's go to the next question. Why is it important to fill this form? I said that already. Without filling this form, you won't be able to prove to Upwork that you are non-US. All right. So if you are not able to prove to Upwork that you are a non-US freelancer, you will be liable, or you'll be required, Upwork will be required to withhold 30% of your earnings on Upwork, and they will send it to the IRS. So, guys, it's important that you fill this, and according to this email, the clock is ticking. The clock is ticking by the 31st of December 2022. If you have not done this, if you have not updated your form, that means you are telling Upwork that you are a US person. That is what it means. And they are going to forward that to the IRS, and they will start deducting. All right, so, and Upwork also explained here what happens if you do not fill this form. It's just the same thing that we have said. So in order to avoid this penalty, it is important that you go ahead to fill your form. So I reached out to Upwork personally, because quite a number of freelancers tried to get their TIN, but then the normal situation here in Nigeria. There were some hitches here and there. Some of them had to go to the tax identification number office, the TIN office. Some of them did this online. They didn't get any response. Quite a number of them actually did, and they got feedback. But then I just had to reach out and say, hey, it's possible that there are people who are not able to get their TIN. What can they do? And Upwork was gracious enough to respond. If you don't have a tax identification number, what should you do? And so what Upwork said, according to this email, is if you have a national ID number, you can use it. So that's good news. If you have your NIN, you can go to the tax information page and upload it there right away. Now, if you have neither, you do not have a TIN and you do not have an NIN, what can you do? Upwork has released two additional forms, one for individuals and one for entities or businesses that you can fill. And once you have filled that, you are required to sign a digital to sign it digitally, and then send that form to this address, which I'm going to also add in the description place below. I'm going to add that to the description of this video so that you can have it. You should send it to taxrecordsupport@upwork.com. You need to allow 3 to 5 business days. So you can see that this is really, really tight. As soon as you're getting this video, you really need to act on this if you have not yet updated it. And please like this video, share this video, let other people who this will help also see this information so that they can quickly update their tax information on Upwork. Again, this is coming to you from Audible Talents. And what we do is we have a community of freelancers in Nigeria, in Africa, and what we try as much as possible to do is share information that is going to be beneficial and useful. So if this is really helping you, I want you to subscribe to this channel and then hit the notification bell, because you would really want to know the next time we release a useful video like this again, and more of it is going to be coming. All right, so how about freelancers in other places in Africa? What are you actually doing to update your tax information? You can just leave those comments there in the comment area. I want to hear from you. I really want to also learn from you what you are doing in other places, beyond the shores of Nigeria, in other African countries, to know what you are doing about this. And so you have 3 to 5 business days to send this to you. You need to send this out and give room for Upwork to reach out to you because of the processing time. All right. Now let's go into the FAQ, so frequently asked questions page that Upwork shared. And the first one we are going to be looking at is, you don't have a TIN, yes, a tax identification number. What can you do? You don't have a tax identification number. You don't have an NIN. All right. So what can you do? So what Upwork did, I'm going to also leave this. I'm going to leave this URL, or this link. Yes, I'm going to leave this link also in the description place below, so that you can go to this frequently asked question page and read more about this by yourself. Um, so what Upwork said is, try as much as possible to fill these forms as much as you can, and then you need to give them 3 to 5 business days for them to get back to you. I told you the email that you're going to send it to, and then you will just need to wait for Upwork to respond to you. But if you have your NIN, how can you update your tax information page? Review tax information button, and it will take you straight to your tax information page on Upwork. But let's say you did not get this email. How can you still um, land on your tax information page? So you come over to your profile picture here on the right, click on it. We are trying to navigate to settings, go over there to settings. And once you do this, because you are going to a very, very sensitive page, um, Upwork is going to do some verification, right? And I'm just going to go ahead and um, do that right now and all. So this just came in. I'm typing it there. So just need to verify. This could just be different. It depends on the kind of security that you have set for yourself. Just going to put that in as well. So like I was saying before, you can also do this on your mobile. All you just need to do is navigate to settings. Now, when you come here, it automatically takes you to your tax information page. I'm sorry, contact information page. By default, you land on the contact info page. But then what you want to do is just slide down one step, and it takes you to your tax information page, right? So this is where you're supposed to go to on Upwork, so that you can impute your TIN if you have it, or your NIN. So you can see your tax residence, the tax residence page. You are supposed to update that. You can do that by clicking on this pencil icon here. You also have the W8BEN form. You're also supposed to click on that and update it. It shows Upwork that you are a non-US person and you are providing your tax information. And then this is where you are to enter your tax information number, your TIN, if you have it. If you don't have it, Upwork says you can enter your NIN. What Upwork wants you to prove is that you are a non US citizen. All right, let's go back to this question. In a situation where you have neither the tax identification number, which is TIN, or the national identification number, which is NIN, what should you do? What you should do is to click on this form for individuals or this one for entities. So you click on this form and you fill it, right? I have opened the forms here, but before we go into that, I just want to also take you through the other questions and answers that were given by Upwork. So how do you complete the W8BEN form successfully? So Upwork has also written here the 3 areas, just like I showed you previously. You are to add your tax residence information, your W8BEN information, and then your tax identification number information. You can do so by clicking on the pencil icon. Once you do that, it will give you the opportunity to update your information. Add your TIN or your NIN. Questions also around whether Upwork is going to verify your tax. So Upwork is saying your TIN may be verified, but not necessarily when you enter it. But they just encourage you, if you are a non-US freelancer, update it so that they will not deduct 30% of your future earnings on Upwork. Upwork has been required by the IRS to update the tax information of all non-US freelancers, and you are one of them. All right, moving on. My tax residence has changed this year. Which country should I choose? So please use your current TIN from where you live now. So if there's any information that has changed, make sure to update that. There are some people having issues with updating their date of birth. Upwork is aware of this, and they said please try entering the date of birth again. If you previously adjusted the date you were selecting in an attempt to get it to save correctly, please double check your entry again. So just try and do it again, and this should get updated. All right, so these are the questions that were addressed on the FAQ page that Upwork shared. All right, so let's go back to the form. So now we are going to that segment where you do not have a TIN and you do not have an NIN. What should you do? So Upwork shared this form that you can download. So when you click on this link here, it takes you to this page. This is the About Form W8BEN. Certificate of Foreign Status of Beneficial Owner for United States Tax Withholding and Reporting. This is for the individuals. This video covers the information for individuals because I am guessing that a lot of people who are watching this video are individuals, okay, freelancers in Nigeria. Now, what you need to do is download these 2 forms. Go down to the current revision, download the form, the W8BEN form, and then download the instructions for filling the form. Once you download the W8BEN form, this is what it looks like. And I also downloaded the instructions. All right, a quick disclaimer here. Upwork strongly advised that if you do not have your TIN or your NIN, reach out to a legal person, a lawyer, to help you out with this. So I am not legally authorized. I am not a lawyer. I do not have a lawyer background. All that I'm sharing with you on this video is purely educational, all right, for educational purposes. You can still go on ahead and reach out to a lawyer to help you out with this information. This was what I did I told as many people as reached out to me about this form, I told them, hey, you need to reach out to a lawyer to help you out with this, help you break down the information on this. But then I just decided to do this video. Again, it's purely for educational purposes. I want you to take time out to really verify all of this information and make sure you are doing the right thing. All right, so having said that, let's dive right into this form and see how you can do this. Now, Upwork says this is a certificate of foreign status. So you can see that this is for individuals, non-US persons. All right. If you are in the US, you're a freelancer in the US, you're a resident in the US, you have another form that you're supposed to fill. If you are a Nigerian freelancer, an African freelancer, and you are an entity, you are a business, there is another form that you are supposed to fill. Again, this form, the W8BEN form, is for individuals, non-US individuals who do not have their TIN, and again, in this case, they do not have their NIN. All right, so do not use this form. You can see Upwork is also telling you, do not just use this form if you are not an individual. Instead, use this. So if you're an entity, use the W8BEN E form. Now, do not use this form if you are a US citizen or other US person. If you are a US citizen, if you reside in the US, you're a resident of the US, you are supposed to use the W9 form. That's if you have not filled it. Now, do not use this form if you're a beneficial owner claiming some income. We are going to see that later. That doesn't really have anything to do with us here because we are not claiming anything. And then do not use this form if you're a beneficial owner who is receiving compensation for personal services performed in the United States. You also have another form to fill if that is your own situation. Do not fill this form if you're a person acting as an intermediary. If you're an intermediary, there is another form for you to fill. All right. There's a note here. If you are a resident in the FATCA, so I tried to look up what this means. I'm just going to open that. FATCA means the Foreign Account Tax Compliance Act, all right? Foreign tax. So this is again dealing with non-US related freelancers. So if you are a resident in a FATCA partner jurisdiction, that notification is applies to you. I don't think this applies to freelancers in Nigeria. So we are going to skip that, right? We want to make this video as quick as possible. All right, so I'm just going to close this page here because it doesn't really apply. And then we go to the part 1. All right, so this is the identification of the beneficial owner. So just go on there and please add your name, your citizenship, which will be Nigeria, right? Your permanent residence address, just put it there. Everything, the number, the street, everything at all. Upwork even says rural route, your address, because this is the way you are going to prove to Upwork that you are a non-US resident freelancer, that you are resident in Nigeria. So just put that information there as well. And then add the city or town as well as your country. Your country in this case will be Nigeria. Your city can be in Abuja, you can be in Lagos, you can be anywhere in this country. Just put it there. What you are trying to do with this form is to prove to Upwork that you are a non-US resident freelancer. Add your mailing address if it's different from the one, but if it is the same, you can just go ahead and say same as above, and then add the city as well and the country. Then here on number 5, you see US tax information, tax identification number. So this is not relevant to you because you do not have a social security number, which is the SSN. You do not have that. You are not a resident in the US, so this does not apply to you. Now, you can see instruction by going to this this the instruction document um, that was also shared by Upwork, and go line by line. Once you click on a particular line, it expatiates, it tells you more about that particular um, field that you want to fill and whether it applies to you or whether it doesn't apply. So as we can see here, line 5 does not apply to Nigerian freelancers because this is talking about the social security number. All right, let's go back. So you do not put anything here. Just skip it. Also, we have the foreign tax identity number. This should not also apply because if you have your TIN, you should have added that on the tax information page on Upwork. I believe this will be relating to other um, freelancers, just like we started initially, some other kinds of, situations around that. You should also skip this because if you have your TIN, why should you download this form and be putting anything here? Just go straight ahead to um, where you're supposed to add your TIN on that page. But hey, again, you can just do Control F, 6A takes you right there to where you can see um, the information. So on line 6A, if you are providing this form, um, if you are providing this form, that's the W8BEN, to document yourself as an account holder, um, with, as defined in this section of the regulation, with respect to a financial account. So you can see here that it's more in depth. All right. So if you are doing that with respect to a financial account as defined by this regulation, that you hold a US office of a financial institution, all right, and you receive US source income reportable on a form. So you should have you will have some additional forms and some additional things if you are to go ahead to fill this. So, but this video really is just to try and keep it simple. If you do not have your TIN, you do not have your NIN, then what should you do? All right. So for me, I would say you skip this. But like I said again, get a lawyer to take you through this form. All the information I'm sharing on this video is purely for educational purposes because I'm not authorized legally to advise you on what to do um, with this form. All right. 6B, check if the FTIN is not legally required. So let's go to 6B and let's see what 6B is about. So line 6B, you may check that box in like 6B if you are an account holder as described for purposes in line 6A. So if you have line 6A applies to you, and then line 6B will also apply to you as well, in which case you will be required to fill the line 6B. The line 6B will be, telling Upwork that you are not legally required to obtain a foreign TIN. That's what the FTIN means, for your jurisdiction of residence. But then again, if you are not filling 6A, then you are not required to fill 6B. 7 is reference number. Again, if you go to the instruction, I went through it. I could see that it had nothing to do with you. I think you should skip that and then come on to um, um, the number 8, where you fill your date of birth. All right. Again, you can go over to the instruction to see all the additional information required for you to do this. Okay. All right. So next, we are done with part one of this form. Part two of this form talks about um, claim of tax treaty benefits. All right. If you come here again, you can do a quick search and see. We're already here actually on part two. All right, where this is mentioned. And when I went through this as well, especially this is, yes, line 9. And it says, if you are claiming treaty benefits as a resident of a foreign country with which the United States has an income tax treaty for payments subject to withholding under Chapter 3 and under the section mentioned here, then you are required to fill line 9. All right, most of the people that I know who are watching this video, this does not apply to them. So again, I'm going to tell you to skip this whole section. If you are not claiming any tax treaty benefits, it does not apply to you. So you can skip that and come to part 3. And in this part 3, Upwork wants you to certify that all the information you have given is true, it is correct, and that it is complete. All right. So under the penalties of perjury, you declare that you have examined the information on this form to the best of your knowledge, and you believe it is true and it is correct. And so you can go on ahead to say that yes, you are an individual that is a beneficial owner, or if you have somebody who is authorized to sign this for you, then I believe as a freelancer, you should just go ahead and do this by yourself. Upwork wants you to, certify that yes, all this information that you have given is from you. It's relating to you in particular. Do not impersonate anyone. Please, please, please make sure the information you are given is true and it points to you and really tells Upwork that you are a non-US citizen. Um, and Upwork also wants you to certify that the person named on line 1, that's where you um, typed in your name, all right, your name on Upwork. They want this document certifies that the name of that person is not a US person, all right. So you see, this is what this form is just trying to do, and this form relates to income not effectively collected with the conduct of a trade or business in the United States, so which makes you exempted from the 30% tax, 30% withholding tax that applies to US US freelancers. All right. So this all the information here just proves and certifies that hey, you are a non-US citizen and you are not liable um, to being taxed. All right. Like as a US citizen will. Once you are done with all that, go through all of this information here. Um, Upwork is even saying you agree that you submit a new form within 30 days. If any certification made on this form becomes incorrect, so please try as much as possible to put in correct, verifiable information. All right, so you go on ahead to click here to certify that all the information you have given on this form is correct. Once you have done that, please print your name. You can just type in your name there as your digital signature, add your date, and then um, just like we got the information from Upwork, again, I'm going to share this email. Once you are done filling the email, once you are done filling the form, send it to taxrecordsupport@upwork.com. I'm going to add that email address on the description below so that you can send it over to them. Now, if you have any other questions, maybe there's some areas that I did not touch as far as this um, filling the your tax information on Upwork as far as it's concerned. If there are some areas that are still not clear to you, just leave the questions in the comment section and I will get right to it. Again, the clock is ticking. By the 31st of December 2022, Upwork requires that all non-US freelancers update, review, and update their tax information. This video, we have been able to talk about how you can do that. If you have your TIN, we have showed you how you can upload it. And if you do not have your TIN, we have also discussed that you can use your NIN. And in a situation where you have neither your TIN or your NIN, we have gone through the form that Upwork graciously released and says you have to fill that and send that to the email that was made available. All right, again, my name is Tope and this is brought to you by Audible Talents. At Audible Talents, we try as much as possible to share useful information with freelancers in Africa, in Nigeria. And if you want to continue to get useful information like this, especially if this video has helped you to sort out this tax information situation, I want you to subscribe to this channel. It's a way of encouraging us that, hey, we are doing something right. And also hit the notification bell so that if or when we release another useful information like this, you will be the first person to know. Also share this video with as many freelancers as you know. We have very limited time before this sanction kicks in, the 31st of December 2022 to be exact. We want to pass this information across to as many people as possible so that you can update